Anna just wanted to use her robot vacuum to check on her cat, but she accidentally discovered a strange girl in her home. When Anna got a clear look at her, she finally remembered that this girl was the new assistant her husband Nick had hired. So she immediately checked her bank account to review the transaction history, but to her surprise, the shopping list was filled with cosmetics and handbags, yet she hadn't received a single one. Without a moment to spare, she quickly video called her husband, but Nick was indeed still at the office. Anna immediately brought up the matter of his female assistant, hoping to gauge his reaction. Nick, however, said the assistant was doing a great job. He added that she was usually very meticulous in her work. She even takes the initiative to help feed the cat at home. He also mentioned that the company has been extremely busy lately. The finance department hasn't had time to process reimbursements, so he had to cover the costs himself and had his assistant buy quite a few gifts for clients. Seeing her husband's natural tone, and noticing he didn't even flinch or look away, Anna realized she might have overreacted. She then hung up the phone. The next day, Anna returned home. She was just about to pet the cat she hadn't seen in a long time, but when the cat saw Anna, it actually acted very resistant. Anna's heart sank instantly. She realized things might not be that simple. She then called her husband. She asked if he wanted to have lunch together, but Nick said he was still at the office working on a project. He really couldn't spare the time. The more Anna thought about it, the more suspicious she became, so she immediately went to her husband's office. She wanted to see exactly what he was up to. She stood outside the door for a long time. Her husband and his assistant interacted very politely. There wasn't a single hint of anything inappropriate. Anna finally let out a long sigh of relief. The next day, Anna personally made her husband a packed lunch. She had intended to surprise him, but she discovered he wasn't there. Just then, she heard a noise coming from the bathroom, but it was clearly noon. Why would her husband be taking a shower? So she barged right into the bathroom, but there was only her husband inside. Nick immediately asked his wife what she was doing there. Anna claimed she had come specifically to bring him lunch, but just then, Anna noticed a few long strands of hair on the bathtub. She immediately went over to take a closer look, but Nick suddenly pulled her into his arms. Her husband's reaction made Anna even more suspicious, so she confronted him directly. Why is there a woman's hair here? But Nick said the company had been too busy lately. Many colleagues were working overtime at the office. They were practically sleeping there, so he let his colleagues use his bathroom, and there were both men and women. Then he apologized to his wife. He claimed he'd been too busy lately to spend time with her. Right after that, he pretended to check his phone. He told Anna that the project was ultimately being signed overseas, but his assistant had lost his passport. It was now too late to get a replacement. He asked his wife to go sign on his behalf. The whole trip would only take about 3 days. Seeing how sincere her husband seemed, Anna had no choice but to agree. But then she suddenly remembered that her husband's birthday was in 2 days. Nick insisted that work came first. He then hurriedly drove Anna to the airport. Everything seemed perfectly normal, but deep down Anna felt something was off. Just as she was about to board the plane, she checked the footage from the robot vacuum. Sure enough, Nick and his female assistant were both at home. Nick even said finally got rid of that old hag. Anna was struck as if by lightning. She never imagined her husband would actually betray her. She silently vowed to herself she would make her husband pay a terrible price, so she immediately called her lawyer. Then she saved all the videos of her husband's infidelity. After reviewing all the surveillance footage, Anna compiled 27 videos. She handed this evidence over to her lawyer right away. She not only wanted a divorce, she also wanted him to leave with nothing. But this was only the first step in her revenge, because tomorrow was Nick's birthday. She decided to give him a surprise on his birthday. The next day arrived quickly. Anna invited Nick's parents over. His unsuspecting parents even praised Anna as a good daughter-in-law. They had even made a special trip to celebrate their son's birthday. Anna asked them not to tell Nick yet. She claimed she wanted to give him a huge surprise. Anna then notified all of his colleagues and friends. She invited everyone she was close with. Soon they began gathering downstairs one by one. Meanwhile, Nick was still preparing lunch for his female assistant. Suddenly a knock on the door startled the assistant awake. Nick immediately went to the door to check what was going on, but the moment he opened the door, Nick was instantly terrified out of his wits. He nervously asked them what they were doing there. His mother explained that they had come specifically to celebrate his birthday. Anna also said she had cut her business trip short just for this. She had invited everyone he cared about. She asked if he was pleased with the surprise. Everyone around him chimed in. They all praised Anna for being so good to her husband. Before Nick could react, everyone rushed into the house. But as soon as they entered the living room, they sensed something was off. The table was covered with uneaten food. Then Anna spotted 2 wine glasses on the table. She immediately asked Nick why he would use 2 glasses when he was home alone. Nick lied, claiming he was used to being with Anna, so he had subconsciously poured an extra glass of wine. Though the explanation was a stretch, it bought him some time. But just then, a female coworker picked up a sexy lace bra from between the sofa cushions and teased them in front of everyone, saying their marriage was truly loving. Nick's face instantly turned as red as a beetroot. He snatched the bra away, claiming it was a surprise for Anna. Anna let out a cold laugh. She asked Nick if he had a surprise waiting for her in the bedroom as well. Nick immediately denied it. He claimed the room was too messy. It wouldn't be appropriate to let anyone in. Just then, a distinct noise suddenly came from the bedroom. Everyone's gaze instantly focused on the bedroom door. Nick was instantly thrown into a panic. He lied saying it was their cat Xiaomi making a racket. A colleague curious to see the cat, but Nick blocked him firmly. Anna's interest was instantly piqued. She said she hadn't seen the cat in days. She wanted to go in and take a look. Nick grabbed his wife's arm. He claimed that with so many people over today, what if they scared the cat? Anna however flashed an eerie smile. She shook off Nick's hand. Then she immediately pushed open the bedroom door.